Hello Hattrickers, this is episode 110 of Let's Play Hattrick in San Marino within Inter. This week's episode starts out on the match page of round 10, our away match against BK's Union Belize, in which we won 6-0. We were hunting for a lot of goals to increase the difference in the league and trying to build some team spirit and confidence ahead of the remaining 4 rounds in the league. And we did quite well, just narrowly winning the midfield battle, but our conversion rates in the attack made this a formality, to be honest. A lot of goals and no injuries. That was a very nice sight to see during the match. Trastuli, Ulukis, Ranti, Kamalini, Zanotti and Sorsic on the score sheet on this one against BK's Union Belize. Winning 6-0 in that round meant that ahead of round 11 we are third before the matchup against Lokomotive Lattendicht. If we take a little preview for the match, we should be favorites looking at the numbers. We are almost double up in TSI if we look here, and they have a man out, Clement Teich, with suspension, and he's usually playing in the league matches, so perhaps they'll miss him for this one. Now let's move over to the scouts department and see if there's any nice players for us, because we could, as always, use the next star in San Marino. Let's call them. Whoa, Dario Colsara, unknown specialty. This is the guy to pick. He has a potential of solid defending, also some passing. This is a clear choice because the others are 16 years old each. Dario Colsara, very nice. We will be recruiting and we will be double training this guy along with Benedetti initially, simply because we are in that race against time. Let's stick him in the lineup. Let's sort it out actually. Load the previous lineup. It's fairly easy. Benedetti needs all the defending he can get. So let's just call Sara. And who are we replacing? Castroni, he's beyond 17, so we could just do like this and send orders. Very nice start to this Hattrick weekend, I must say. Hopefully Colsara will have a specialty as well. And hopefully a pretty high starting point in defending as well. That would be lovely. Now moving over to the senior training, nothing really happened here besides a few changes in form, so we won't spend a lot of time looking at the training sheet this week. Hopefully we'll see some increases next week, and if we just look at passing, yeah, we should be in for a few pops next week. That's lovely. Let's also just go over the training planner real fast. You can see here we are actually quite close to the end of the passing stint already. 5 weeks to go before we move on to playmaking. Now, another thing we will notice right now, if we look at the finances, is the increase in wages, because we are moving beyond 2 million Danish kroner right now. And it is due to the fact that Zanotti is now 24 years old. In fact, on the day of recording the initial part of this episode on Saturday, he is 24, and his wages is now up to 225,000 Danish kroner each week. So happy birthday to Zanotti. Moving to that milestone of Zanotti being 24, he is sort of the marker where we said this is the start of the cycle. Also means that we will be looking at comparing the cycles quite soon. I won't be doing it this week, but in one of the coming episodes we will surely look over both of the cycles and see which one of the cycles are ahead, because we are starting to see differences in the income and some of the consequences of the different paths taken in the whole build. In the Danish cycle we did finish all of the defending initially, and we've been swapping back and forth a bit more in San Marino, and I'm looking forward to see the consequences of those choices when we eventually do this comparison. In our stadium, Stadio della Libertà, we've often seen 3 or more sectors sold out for a long period now, and that actually calls for an expansion. So a few weeks ago I ordered this expansion for the stadium. It means that the stadium now can hold 61,676 spectators for our home matches, with the potential match takings rising to 6.5 million kroner for each home game. That's pretty nice. Maintenance rising to 423,102 Danish kroner per week. If we look at the finances page, we can take a look at week 10 and see that it cost us 3.2 million Danish kroner to make this expansion. For stadium expansion, I like to do more smaller expansions rather than a few big ones, because the base cost has been lowered quite severely since the good old days. It's now down to 100,000 Danish kroner, which is 10,000 euros. Now, have you guys ever heard of an accidental MOTS? Well, turns out we made one this weekend. In the match against Lokomotive Lattendicht, we did win 7-2. But looking at the ratings after we scored the second goal, I was wondering on the live stream, why are we not having a drawback? And then it dawned upon me that I had accidentally MOTSed this match. It may have been a good thing, however, which is quite lucky, because we did end up losing the midfield battle initially. It was even at the end, but a minor detail here, actually a quite sad one, is that Joshua Blitvoski got injured, and in the closing minutes we were quite open in our defensive sectors, so I don't actually mind this, but I can only advise you guys to be a little careful if you load in a formation from another match, base your tactics on, because yeah, it was an accidental match of the season against Lokomotive Lattendicht. But it turns out it might have helped us. The goal scorers for this one was Igor Becker, Makarios, Volukis with a hat-trick, Al-Jamasi, and the one and only Tommaso Zanotti. Now with that win, we are still third in the league. Nasty Dragons still leading the table. Mickey B also winning 7-0 against Fiorentino RSM, and they are gaining a little on the goal difference, but it's quite close still. Next week we will be facing the unknowns, and we will be missing Petwoski. While recording this on Monday evening, he is still out for a full week, so unfortunately we won't be able to use him in that match. Looking at the numbers, we will have to do quite well in order to get through the defense of Stenhuis. The unknowns will be looking to find a way through. We have more or less secured third place by now, so it's all about trying to find a way to potentially overtake Mickey B in the second place in the final match of the season. Anyway, that's all for this week's episode. Careful with those match of the season instructions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week in Hattrick. Take care. Bye.